I do want to talk in this video a little bit about the fear of going to skate parks, especially for newer skaters. And I think it's a unique kind of fear for adult beginner skateboarders as well. All right, I got a lot of stuff to carry. Skateboard, coffee, water. Let's see if I can do this and film. Almost dropped the phone because I'm here at what used to be one of my go-to skate spots, and I have not been back in a while. So if you don't know much about Asheville over the last few months, we did get hit by Hurricane Helene pretty bad. So this area right there where it says Marquee used to be a huge art gallery full of just a lot of local art and things of that nature. You can see it got gutted and destroyed because of the flood. Lots of local artists lost their artwork, which really sucks and is really sad. And this whole area was called the River Arts District. It had coffee shop, breweries, things of that nature, and then this really sick DIY skate park. But as you can see, it has not been restored yet to its former glory. I have heard that they are really actively attempting to bring this area back, and I think a lot of progress is going to be made on that this summer. But it does seem that the skate park itself is in really good shape and has not been damaged. So this is what we're going to skate today. I have not been here in a while, so I'm kind of excited. It's called Foundation Skate Park, but it's a really cool skate spot with a lot of really interesting features. I'm here pretty early in the morning. I don't know if anybody else is going to be coming and skating later on in the session, but right now I'm alone, which is kind of nice. Just going to point in this direction, this general direction, and do a little skate warm-up. Some flat ground, some, also because I'm actually at a skate park today, and a lot of my videos I'm not really just at my two curb spots. I'm gonna try to do a little more skating of some different obstacles, some things you don't get to see me skate all the time in my other videos. Just warming the legs up a little bit. I love these little pump things to get some speed. I'm really not a great transition skater, so like quarter pipes and things of that nature definitely make me feel a bit uncomfortable, and that was the worst ollie in the world. But the floodwaters did get high enough to destroy all these buildings around. So the ground here's not, I wouldn't call it rough necessarily, but I also would not call this smooth flat ground. There's like spots that are smooth, and then there's spots that are rough, and they kind of catch you off by surprise. Visually, there's not a huge difference between the rough spots and the smooth spots. So you'll be riding and then all of a sudden slow down. And then there's a lot of cracks as well. Oh, that's a shinner. I do want to talk in this video a little bit about the fear of going to skate parks, especially for newer skaters. And I think it's a unique kind of fear for adult beginner skateboarders as well, for a few reasons which we'll get into. And I think I've watched videos before where really talented skaters, really high level skaters are sitting there saying like, just go to the skate park. No one actually cares whether you're good or not. Everybody's more friendly than you expect them to be. and things of that nature. I picked up skateboarding again as an adult at 27, and was at that point at 27 years old where even doing something like an ollie and a shove it and things like that were very difficult. So going to a skate park was really intimidating for me. And I actually watched a few of those videos that were just like, go to the skate park, no one cares. I just found that to not necessarily be the most helpful advice. There may be some truth in that. Like most people who you're skating around and you're skating at the skate park with don't care whether you're talented or not talented. That still doesn't change how you necessarily feel intimidated. When people are at this skate park, people gain a lot of speed. People use these quarter pipes, and they kind of like skate in this bowl and then they pop out of the bowl really fast and things like that. And if you don't know what you're doing and you don't feel in super control of your board and you're surrounded by that, you can feel like, number one, you're getting in people's way, which is not a great way to feel. It doesn't feel good to feel like you're in people's way. And then number two, it's kind of hard sometimes, depending on the park and depending on the culture of the skate park, it can be hard to understand the proper etiquette of where to be and where not to be. Over the years, I've kind of developed a few things that I think help overcome those skate park fears, that fear of being in the way, that fear of not knowing where to be, and then just the social anxiety of feeling like you're surrounded by really talented skaters, and you maybe don't feel quite as good. Also, I got a coffee this morning, kind of a Friday treat. I forgot my mug, so I'm in a single-use cup. For those of you that care about the environment, I care about the environment, so I apologize for my single-use cup today. There's just a lot of unique obstacles here, and sometimes when you do just skate at flat ground spots, let me see if I can do this. Oh, going that direction is kind of tricky. Oh, I haven't done any kick flips or heel flips today, have I? Ah, right into the bank. Really nice weather today, though. Kind of surprised no one else is here. So, one of my biggest tips for helping deal with that skate park anxiety as a beginner adult skater, and honestly, this is the biggest tip. If you have the time in your schedule, and I know not everybody does, come to the skate park at 7 a.m. Here's what I found. Regardless, that felt like a good kickflip. Regardless of where I've lived, the three cities I've lived in as an adult skater are Memphis, Tennessee, Brooklyn, New York, and here in Asheville, North Carolina. And all three places, very different culturally, all three places have had the same kind of pattern of when people show up at the skate park. During the week, you typically have at 7 a.m., really only the crazy people like me show up. People who are maybe trying to avoid skating around other people for whatever reason. For me, it's so I could film this video. And to focus on my trick. For a beginner, it might be to help with that skate park anxiety. There's been such an uptick in people working from home, web designers and different people who have work from home jobs. And I've noticed that most of the time when it's like 8:30 and someone's at the skate park, 8:30 to 9, I'll ask them what they do, and 9 times out of 10 they work from home. So But that typically lends itself to being a more laid back crowd. It typically lends itself to being people in their 30s and 40s who are just trying to get a low key session in. And it's a much less intimidating crowd, even if you're a beginner. Even if they are awesome and you're a beginner, just the crowd from like 7 to 9 a.m. is so much more chill. And like I said, that's regardless of which city I've been living in. Around 10 a.m. is when a lot of the like much more skilled skaters start showing up. Maybe 10 o'clock's a little bit early, especially on a weekday, but weekends they definitely start showing up around 10 a.m. Weekends they for sure start showing up around 10 a.m. Weekdays, maybe it's a little bit later. Weekdays you get to 3 p.m. and that's when the kiddos start showing up. Kids after school. That's very dependent on the skate park. Like this is a DIY skate park in a slightly grungier area. This is probably going to be less kids, and I'm just going to be honest, I don't skate parks at that time. There's just kids flying around on scooters. There's just that after school hours. It's not when I find the most enjoyment at the skate park. So post 5 p.m., you're kind of getting after work stuff. You're getting after school kids, but you're also getting after work adults, people who work the traditional 9 to 5 and such. That's a really good time if your goal is to be social, to make friends, which honestly should be my goal more frequently when I'm skating. If that is your goal, that's a really good time to go. But again, this video I'm kind of talking about people who have more of a skate park anxiety. So in that case, probably not the best time. All right, I'm gonna focus on this board slide now. Oh, that was it. Oh, yes. All right, I want to do that again with more speed. Back to back. Oh, that one felt really good if I had landed that. Yeah, too slow. Oh, that one felt really good, and then my toe touched. But that is another good point is when you do go to the skate park, as intimidating as it can be, and as easy as it is to feel like, okay, I'm gonna just do the stuff I'm comfortable with, and I'm gonna just stay in the area I'm comfortable on. I think that's the tendency because you might be surrounded by people and you might be feeling like, you don't want to necessarily embarrass yourself, or you want to do the things that you're best at. Almost subconsciously, when people start showing up at the skate park, I start abandoning trying other stuff. Like I suck at 180s, so like I don't do 180s. And it's kind of counterintuitive, and it's honestly kind of just a bad mentality to have, because other people could give you advice, other people could help you, other people could support you, and you're not even giving them that opportunity. You're immediately like almost trying to show off, I guess, and it's just not the right mindset. So that's just something I noticed in myself. Just kind of funny. And I think this YouTube channel is kind of an attempt for me to get out of that habit of only doing tricks I'm good at, trying to look like I'm decent on the skateboard. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the videos I put out, I'm putting almost all of my misses in there. I'm putting most of the videos, I'd say 90% of my videos, I'm leaving every trick attempt in there, which is why my videos end up being 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. But I do want to show people not just my lands. I want it to be very raw, and I want it to feel like you're on the session with me and you're seeing my mistakes. And so I think that process has been helpful for me coming to skate parks and being more okay with missing tricks and doing the tricks that I look super uncomfortable doing on this YouTube channel up to this point. Not filmed in front of other people yet, much. Not filmed in front of, oh, I've not really filmed in front of other skaters. And I was kind of hoping today could be that day where I kind of break out of that mold and skate in front of some other people, but no one's here, so. Okay, I know it's not the most wild or interesting obstacle, but this ledge is literally like the perfect height. There's my knee, there's the ledge, the perfect ledge. So I'm gonna spend a little time ledge skating. All right, 50-50s. It has been a while since I've skated. Okay, not bad. I've been really into the curb skating lately. I will say I do think my favorite obstacle, just period, is ledges. The back truck's not getting up there, that's weird. Okay. It's just been a while since I've done this. Are not great. Alright, we got both trucks on there. Whoa. That felt weird. Okay. So, one issue I always have with 50-50s on a ledge is I land with my back foot in front of the bolts, and then I can't pop out. Terrible. While I'm trying this trick, I'm going to address one of what I believe is a little bit of a misconception with skating at a skate park and the anxiety, is that nobody cares. I think 9 times out of 10 that is true. I will say, and 9 times out of 10 people at a skate park are super supportive. I remember specifically a moment when I was learning pop shove-its, and the only other trick I could do was ollie, and I went to a skate park and tried to pop shove it for like 30 minutes, and I landed one. And there was these guys. They were just really talented skateboarders. A group of guys that were really talented skateboarders. And they started hitting their board on the ground, the universal symbol for like, good job, bro. And started cheering for me when I landed that simple flat ground pop shove it. And honestly, that meant the world to me. Just like feeling welcomed in, feeling like that was almost them saying like, hey man, you belong here, you can skate here. And I thought that was really, really cool. Now, I'm gonna contrast that with another story. And maybe location has to do with this, but my wife and I went to LA this past summer. Going too slow. We were watching some skating happening at Venice Beach Park, and there was this talented guy who actually probably was a pro and was flowing through the entire park. Like, he was touching every obstacle, and that's mostly a bowl skate park, so he was like, dang it. He was airing out from one bowl to another bowl, skating at a really high rate of speed. And honestly, like, almost everybody just had to sit there and watch him because he was taking up the entire bowl, and he was doing like, you know, like a minute-long run and then hopping straight back in to do another run. And this guy had been waiting for a while, and then finally drops in and tries to do something on a mini ramp. The guy's probably about my ability level. And the high level skater started screaming at him and was like, if you're not good enough, don't skate here. And, you know, that's a really famous skate spot, the Venice Beach skate spot. But he made like a humongous scene in front of like all these tourists who are watching. I honestly thought they were going to get in a fist fight. It's not like everyone's always going to be nice 100% of the time. Like, some people are just mean. Now, the way I think he should have handled the situation is, if he was bothered by that guy or felt like the lower skilled guy was getting in his way, I feel like he should have came over to him and said, like, hey man, you know, I'm trying to do this line, I'm trying to get it on film, this is the route I'm taking, do you mind letting me get a few chances? Or like, if I'm dropping in, could you stay out of the way? Like, there's a way to have that conversation, but just to yell at them and make a huge scene was kind of ridiculous. So sometimes, so the whole saying that no one ever cares is actually probably not necessarily true. Now, here's where I would differentiate my advice. It's not that no one ever cares, because sometimes you're going to run into that person who does care. Where I would differentiate my advice is, it's not that no one cares, it's that if they do care, it says a lot more about them than it does you. So if someone cares that you're learning how to skateboard and you came to a skate park to learn how to skateboard, like, that says a lot more about that person. I've said this in previous videos. When I see someone who's brand new at skating at a skate park, it hypes me up. I do try to always go out of my way to say what's up to them and make them feel welcomed, because I know how intimidating it can be. Like I said, I started skateboarding again as an adult at 27. I know how intimidating it can be. And if you are someone who is comfortable at being at the skate park, keep that in mind when you see someone. Just say what's up to them. Even if you don't have to have a full-on conversation, just say what's up. It means a lot. That Venice Beach skate park story, my wife was actually with me and we watched that happen. Our takeaway, and I think everybody, like all the tourists, all the people watching, everybody around the skate park's takeaway honestly was like, that really high level talented skateboarder is a jerk. He might have had a bad moment. He might have had, I don't know him, you know, whatever. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But in that moment, he came across like an angry, mean person. And then the average skater who was getting yelled at, everyone like kind of came over and like supported after that happened. So I think it says more about, you know, if someone is mean at the skate park, it says more about them than it does about you. All that being said, go to the skate park. I'd say 99.9% of the time, people are actually probably going to support you and are going to, tap their skateboard tail when you land a pop shove it, like what happened to me. You'll be surprised. People will come over and will give you advice if they see you doing something wrong, the same way over and over and over again. Most of the time, they'll come over and they'll give you some tips. And you can watch all the YouTube tutorials you want, but sometimes the best thing is someone in person looking at what you're doing incorrect and giving you advice. You can basically get free coaching and free advice if you go to the skate park. Oh my gosh. I'm going so slow. Horrible. That was... Man. Okay. There we go. Oh, almost 2 in a row. There we go. That one was actually decent. How's it going? Not bad, not bad. All right, I'm gonna skate one of the stranger obstacles here. This wall. It is a little steeper than might look on camera, but I don't know. I don't really know how to skate this. Really rough run up too, but it feels a little more like a street spot. Let's just go up and down it first. Whew, this is rough. I don't know, like ledges and rails, like you have those at every skate park. If I'm at a quirky park like this, might as well try something that feels different, Okay. Rock and roll seems less scary than rock to fakie. It's a quicker motion than it seems because it's so short. Alright, so when I rotated back in, I landed like right there, so I really got to lift up. Oh! Oh, there we go. Alright, let's do one more. Oh, 2 in a row? What in the world? Alright, last thing I think I'm going to do at the park today, before I leave for the day, is I'm going to try to see if I can ollie over this gap. It might not seem like a lot on camera, but you do have to get a pretty big push. You got to get a lot of speed going. So yeah, I'm going to try to ollie this gap and then call it a day. This has been a really fun session, peaceful session. It's fun to actually get to the skate park when I've just kind of been hibernating at my curb for a while. Also, let me know in the comments. Like, you know, most of the videos leading up to this have been at that curb spot. I only have one video I posted previously at a skate park. Let me know if you've enjoyed the content today. Let me know if you've enjoyed the skating at the skate park. Let me know if there's any obstacles that I should have tried, tricks that I should have done. See, that was obviously not the most speed in the world, but I didn't even hardly make it halfway there. It's tough because the ground's not super smooth, so you lose a little speed because of that. Oh, that was close. That felt like a really good ollie, even though I don't think I got the distance. I also am just realizing I have not done any switch or any fakie or nollie really today. I think that's one of the things that is a huge differentiation between when I skate at my flat ground spots and when I skate at a skate park. Is here I'm trying all these obstacles and I'm pretty much doing all of them regular. And then when I'm doing just flat ground stuff, I try some switch and fakie and stuff like that. But anywho, let's get this. Dang it. Oh, that was it. My foot was not positioned well. All right, I'm gonna watch that back and see if I got it. Right on grind. Oh, I missed it. I do actually think I got that, but it's so funny watching it back. I looked like I was going so slow, and I can't tell you how fast it felt like I was going. Like, I felt like I was booking it to the point of being out of control. And then I watched the clip back and it looked like I'm like just on a Sunday stroll, kind of casually skating. So funny. It's one of those funny things about filming is like you feel like something looks so sick and then you watch it back and you're like, wow, that was not so impressive. Let's see if I change the camera angle so you can see my run up, so you can see how fast I actually am kind of pushing. It's funny because I've seen some clips of me skating where I'm not actually going that fast, but someone's filming with a wide angle lens and going along with me, and it looks super fast. Whereas like this, where the camera's set back and it's not wide angle lens, it just really makes it look like I'm going slow. Going to a skate park will do two things for you, I believe. It will build your skills up in a way that skating flat ground can't. For example, just even this small little like you know, ollie, and it's a bank on both sides. That is building certain skills that I can't gain in flat ground. Doing that little rock and roll on that really steep elevated wall is building certain balance muscles in my body and building certain like, you know, those sudden little weight transfers and those subtle little like changes of speed and things like that that you don't get when you skate only flat ground. So you're gaining skills and you're progressing in a way that you can't when you only skate flat ground. Another thing is social, like being social and being able to like meet people. Um, like there's a guy that showed up here and I talked to him for a minute, and you know, just being able to actually make friends who also skateboard is only really possible if you're going to places where skateboarders are at. The negative is if you're at a time where it's super busy, it can be really intimidating. It can be hard to focus on the tricks that you're working on. and it just has its own challenges. And then there's like the social anxiety aspect of it, of feeling maybe not as skilled as other people, but then showing up and yeah, having to do that activity in front of people is very vulnerable, and is very can be very intimidating. So sometimes we focus as adults way too much on um, performance, and focus too much on like being good enough. And I think, especially in this world, in this day and age where there's so much social media, and there's so much of like, you know, people that are out there in skateboarding only putting their tricks that they land up on social media, only putting their best clips. Um, it's just really performative, and it's very it can make you feel not good enough. It can make you feel like you don't belong at this place, in the skate park. And I think that's kind of my closing thought, is like the skate park has to be a place for everyone. It has to be a place for people from all different backgrounds. It has to be a place for people of all different skill levels. Um, and I would also argue, like, at this skate park, you know, people come and ride BMX. People come and do roller skates. I've seen people do like you know, those quad skates, also inline skating. So like different disciplines of extreme sport, different backgrounds. I think all that is super important, and that's what we need at skate parks. So let me know if the video is more interesting, me skating at a skate park versus skating those spots by myself. If you do like that, then I'll try to come to the skate park more often and film here. If you don't like it and you like my curb spot, then I'll do that. Now, I mean, I'll probably do a mix of both regardless. Maybe I'm going to try, before I go, one more board slide over here. I know I've been fairly repetitive with a lot of my tricks. I hope that is not too annoying watching. I'm going to try to do my closing to the video that I've been trying to do recently, which is where I say, thanks for watching, and then I land the trick. So, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. All right, let's try it one more time. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.